Hey, what's going on, guys? Brian Brewer here, and welcome to the best advice I've ever received, episode number 4. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, a quick backstory. This channel started as a test channel for me to test ranking strategies for YouTube videos. I wanted to test different ideas on a channel without subscribers so I could teach it on my primary channel that had subscribers, right? So I could become a better teacher. But the problem is, or the fortunate situation is, now this channel is starting to get some momentum. So I want to nurture that, to provide content that is of value to y'all. And I think that's the main point, is I wanted to just do something that was a little bit different, but also very valuable. Not just put out content for the sake of putting out content. So I came up with this idea, and I call it the best advice I've ever received. And it's just going to be a raw, unfiltered look at some of the best pieces of advice I've ever received from some of the top internet marketers and entrepreneurs of our time. So today's episode number 4, is going to be Frank Kern and the best of advice I've ever received from Frank Kern. Now, if you don't know who Frank Kern is, be careful. If you do know who Frank Kern is, you probably know what I'm talking about, but be careful if you start watching Frank Kern, because he's going to make everything look so easy, and he's going to make you think that you can just do just about anything he's telling you to do, and maybe that's the secret to selling stuff, right? All right, so anyways, Frank Kern. Side note, if you haven't seen Frank Kern's historic core of influence talk, okay, just search that in YouTube, and that's the first video that'll come up. It'll say historic core of influence talk. It's about 2 hours long. It's incredible. If you're a marketer, if you want to sell stuff, I highly recommend watching it. He does a great job with it. It's entertaining, a wonderful talk. But bottom line is I have been following Frank Kern for a long time. I've bought a lot of Frank Kern stuff, and the best piece of advice that I've ever received from Frank Kern talks about the power of new. He mentions that there's a power of new, and there's a reason that this resonated with me, and it goes back to when I started my first YouTube channel after I was about a year in. I was getting to the point where I was struggling coming up with ideas for content because I wanted to stay within my niche, but I felt like I had covered just about everything I could think of, and I stopped creating as much content as I should, and in hindsight it was a mistake. That's why I should have thought more about the power of new, and power of new can work for selling more stuff. It can also work for creating more content. And the first mistake I made with the YouTube channel is I was under the delusion that everybody was just on the verge or on the edge of their seat waiting for my next YouTube video, right? Like, everybody was paying attention to everything I ever had to say, and that's just simply not the case. So if I would have made another video that was kind of similar but a little bit different and put it out, I think for the most part everything would have been okay. I'm not saying you should flat out repeat yourself over and over and over again, but the power of new, right? Like, the same concept, the same idea, the same teaching presented in a new way has a certain power. First and foremost, it's going to help you create content without stepping outside your niche and losing your authority. But the other thing is, it's going to help people by coming at it from a different angle, and people might respond differently to putting something differently, right? Like, if you hear something, it might sink in. If you hear it a different way, it might sink in more. But if you hear something a third way, and it might start to resonate. And really, if you're creating a YouTube channel, if you're becoming a leader, if you have a business, that is your job. Like, you have to help people, and it has to sink in. So if you have to repeat yourself 6 times, so be it. Who cares if there's going to be one dude in the comments who says, "Man, you just said that last week." You know, who gives a shit? For the most part, you're trying to communicate at scale, so you're trying to bring the most benefit to the group as a whole. So the power of new: reposition the same idea in a different light to help create content for you selfishly, but help others understand better as well. And I mentioned this can also help you sell more stuff, right? Like, if you've pretty much exhausted a product within your existing audience, you can either create a new product, which takes time and effort, or you can just kind of reposition the way you're selling the product. Maybe let me give you an example. So maybe you're creating a product that helps people grow their YouTube channel. So you first sell this product as, hey, grow your YouTube channel, follow these steps, and everybody on your list who's going to buys it, and then it's not selling anymore. Well, maybe the first part of that YouTube channel growth course teaches you how to identify your niche, right? Or choose your passion, or or how to establish authority. So then maybe you can reposition that YouTube course as a how to find your passion, how to discover your niche, how to choose which business you want to start. You know, that type of thing. You don't even have to rename it or repackage it. Just reposition the way you market it. And guys, that is the power of new. And it's so powerful, and it's the best advice I've ever received from Frank Kern. This was episode 4. If you liked it, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And I'll go ahead and leave links down below from some of the past episodes, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, have a great day.